Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite, home to the #1 Theta community. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And you can find me on Theta TV as well. Alright guys, before we get into this video, I've had a couple questions asked about this, but could someone get in touch with the Theta developer team? Because if you select the wallet right now, it brings up this blank page. So it's very difficult, if not impossible right now, to get into a Theta wallet. Not sure if they're aware of that one, but I did want to spread awareness. So thank you for that. But like I was saying, this video we are going to be talking about centralized streaming. They are going through a very rough time right now. And I made a video about this one recently about how Netflix loses almost 1 million subscribers. Netflix is not doing all too hot right now. And also more recently, and more specific to this video, we're going to talk about Warner Brothers and Discovery. They also had a quarterly earnings report that came out and it was abysmal. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about Warner Brothers and Discovery. So yes, these two companies are together now, which brings a lot of content and big names that you probably are familiar. The first one being HBO Max. I know a lot of people are subscribers to HBO Max. I have HBO Max. I actually really like my HBO Max account. And there's also HBO, Warner Brothers, HGTV, Discovery, and so on and so forth. I'm sure you can look through this list and pretty much recognize all of these different channels. So that is Warner Brothers and Discovery. And by looking through these channels, you would think that something like this would be more or less steady, if not doing okay right now. But that's not the case. If we check out Warner Brothers Discovery most recent investor relations and quarterly earnings, they actually did really bad. So here is the investor relations for Warner Brothers Discovery. And if we check out the release, I'll just get straight to the facts here. But the first bullet point, they talk about the revenues, and the revenues, all in all, it's a huge number. So Q2 total reported revenues were $9.8 billion, which is a lot of money. But when we circle down to that second bullet point, that's when things start getting spicy and the truth really starts coming out. So net loss available to Warner Brothers Discovery Inc. was $3.4 billion. And those numbers by themselves don't mean all too much, but when you compare them to previous years, that's when you can start putting things in perspective. So we'll scroll down to the 3 months ended in June 30th. And we can compare 2022 to 2021, which they have in this earnings release report. As we can see, the total revenues, like I said, 9.8 billion, and last year they had 3 billion. So that's a huge jump. You'd love to see revenue at the top line increase, but the net loss, this is something that is incredible. So last year, only 672 million. And this year, last year is a net gain. This year is a net loss of $3.4 billion for a huge company like this. And they have a lot of different reasons for that, but ultimately to go from such a large net gain to such a humongous net loss, there is no one single excuse that you can give in order to highlight and identify what caused that. And we'll kind of go over some reasons. I think this article does a pretty good job of talking through some of the different growing pains that HBO or Warner Brothers is going through. And like I said, this is not only Warner Brothers. This is happening with Disney Plus. This is happening with Netflix. This is happening all across the board, which is very interesting to see. And if we check out this article over here, the news regarding the recently announced HBO Max and Discovery Plus merger is something else. It's one of their strategies going forward that they want to do, and that's something I kind of glossed over. But yes, so HBO Max and Discovery is one of the ways they're going to combine these two, and hopefully that's going to increase their revenue and increase their bottom line. It is a thought. They don't know what to name it, but I think they should just keep HBO Max and then just stuff all that Discovery content in there. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't get paid those big bucks, but that is one of their ideas for making things better. And according to Decider, the notoriously film-friendly HBO Max streamer is making some big changes in regards to what movies will be released. Following the second quarter earnings call on August 4th, which we just talked about, the Project Popcorn era, to a case-by-case basis when determining what movies will be available to subscribers. So one thing that HBO Max has done in the past, and I think a lot of people have liked it, it's very successful. Movies, they go from the movie theater to HBO Max in like 45 days. And that's the minimum amount of time that it is allowed currently. And I like it. I think a lot of people like that. But what the new CEO is saying is they're pretty much going to start shifting away from that. And it's going to be on a very select case-by-case basis if they do decide to do that. And it's this strategic shift because of this humongous loss that they had, which it is a lot. It's multiple billions of dollars of loss. They want to shift away from previous strategies because that potentially is one reason why they were losing money. Also, this combination of HBO Max and Discovery Plus is another one of those shifts, and hopefully it'll make them get a little bit more income, make a little bit more money. So under Project Popcorn, fans were privy to blockbusters like The Batman and Fantastic Beasts only after 45 days after their movie release, like I was saying. And apparently they don't like that, and they don't want to continue with that even more. And I think that's something that might make more individuals kind of stray away from HBO Max, because that's one thing that is keeping me, just in case. As of right now, I have a little guy. He's about a year old, so I can't always go out to the movie theater, but I do appreciate that the movies are coming to HBO Max in a decent amount of time, so I still feel pretty relevant if I do want to watch a movie. But that's just me in my situation. So in summary, that's kind of what this article is saying. And I just found it so interesting that all of these humongous corporations and streaming services are having such a huge problem, which brings me to the decentralized services like Rewarded TV on the Theta blockchain. So this is a decentralized application, or DApp, on the Theta blockchain is one way to think about it. But the benefit to it is you can discover and watch normal TV shows and movies, and this is very similar to your HBO Max or your Netflix, but you get paid to watch it. You get paid replay tokens to watch all of this content, which is totally different than the traditional method, I'll call it traditional, of having to pay $13.99 or $15 a month in order to watch content on Netflix or HBO Max. So I really think that because all of these different larger streaming services are having these problems, and if these problems continue, I think applications like Reward TV are going to do fantastic. And even Theta TV as well, even though this is more so for decentralized streaming and esports and other things similar to that, but I think that this is definitely showcasing the power of blockchain technology and what Theta has to offer. And on top of that, which I'll talk about in a future video, but just bringing down those CDN costs as well is something else that I think the overall Theta ecosystem will do fantastic with. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below, but I found it very, very interesting.